Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Hugo, and today we're going to see what's going to be the best stocks for this week. I have three stocks. All of them is going to be on pipelines, so there's not going to be too much of a choice for this week. Remember that all the stocks that I recommend, it's always stocks that pay quarterly or monthly, and they have a dividend yield more than 5%, and these are the three stocks that sits on these requirements. So now let's have a look into these three stocks and see what's going to be the best for this week. Antero Midstream Corp, it's one of the stocks that with the highest dividend yield with 8.96%. They pay quarterly: January, April, June, and October. All the three of them they pay quarterly as well in the same months, and they are in the oil and gas and transportation industry or in the energy sector. I do have other stocks on my portfolio, like BP.L, which is the British Petroleum in UK stock exchange. I had also Chevron on my portfolio, which I sold a few days back, and now I'm buying other stocks with higher dividend yields as well. But we're going to see which one is going to be the best. So this one is undervalued 43.3%. So the ex-dividend date is going to be on the 25th of January. So we need at least 3 days for eToro to process our order so we can receive the dividend. So never buy, if you want to count with the dividends, never buy within 2 or 3 days for the ex-dividend date. So therefore, I recommend you to skip this or have on your watch lists and maybe buy in April or something like that if you are looking only for the ex-dividend. The financial health, it's a B, so they have more liabilities than assets. It's around 10 billion of a difference, and the market sentiment is a strong buy. We have a future growth of 6.9%, which is quite good, and the past performance was 6.9%. Actually, I need to correct myself. They have around 87 million in assets, and in terms of liabilities, they have around 118 million of liabilities. So they have a lot of liabilities comparing to the assets that they have. So I do consider this a high risk dividend if you want to go for Antero Midstream. Although the stock went down quite a lot as the majority of the stocks this week. EDP Enterprise Product Partners, they have a dividend yield of 7.74%. They pay quarterly: January, April, June, and October. They are undervalued in 33.7%, and the next ex-dividend date is going to be on the 28th of January. So this one we still going to have time. We have a financial health as a G with assets around the 12 billion and in terms of liabilities around the 11 billion. Bear in mind the APD has more market cap than AM or even the next one that I'm going to talk about. The market sentiment, we have a buy, and in terms of the future growth, we're going to have a 3.1%, which is good. Having in consideration the past performance was quite good, around 10.8%, so the 3.1% is not bad. Usually this kind of stocks, when they have a really huge past performance, usually the future performance is a bit lower, but 3.1% it's among the average. Bear in mind that the opposite of AM and Antero, this stock went up quite a lot in the past few weeks. PA Plans American Pipeline, they have a dividend yield of 6.51%. They pay quarterly: January, April, June, and October. They are overvalued 29.9%, and next dividend is on the 28th of January, so we still have time for this. The financial health is a GB. This means that they are in the break-even. They have more liabilities than assets. It's almost 20 million on liabilities and in terms of assets, so they are here in the break-even. That's why I put it as a GB. The market sentiment is a buy, and the future growth is 4.5%. It's a little bit better than EPD, but although I think I'll go for EPD instead of this one. AM is a little bit more risky due to the past, having in consideration that the PAA is much worse than any other of the other two. And bear in mind that AM, if you're going to buy it today, you won't be able to receive the dividends because it's already you don't have more than 2 days. The past performance is 17.1%, so I do consider this a little bit more risky than EPD. I'll go for EPD if I don't have any other stock in this sector. If you believe in diversity, I do believe. That's why I do have stocks in all the sectors and also in several markets like UK, US, and China, and also some crypto. Other stocks for this week, these are stocks that pay dividends monthly, so that's why I don't done a deep analysis on those, since I already mentioned this several times in my channel, which you can look for those videos. So the PSEC Prospect Capital Corp has a dividend yield of 8.10%. The ex-dividend is going to be on January 26th. You don't have time to buy this one. EPR Properties has a dividend yield of 6.44%. The ex-dividend is going to be on January 28th. You still going to have time to buy this one. Actually, this is one of the stocks that I have on my portfolio that I bought in last month. AGNC Investment Corp, you have a dividend yield of 9.63%. This is actually one of the stocks that I have on my portfolio as well for a long time. They have ex-dividend date on 28th of January, so you still have time to buy this one. And we also have another one for this week, which is going to be PBA Pembina Pipeline Corp, which also I have on my portfolio. They pay a dividend yield of 6.15%, and the ex-dividend is going to be on 24th of January. So for this one, you won't have time to buy because it's going to be today. So now let's have a look into the market, see what's going to be the behavior of Bitcoin and the SP500. In terms of the SP500, you may see a fall of 2.79%, around 4,333. We're going to have a few shorts for the next week. We have an estimation to this to go down until the first or second week of February, and then probably will go up. This depends on what's going to happen in the next upcoming weeks. The RSI has broken down to its 30 levels, so means that we are under buying the stock. After when it reached the 50%, we are overbought. In this case, we are underbought. We are still buying, so actually this is a good time to buy if you want to invest in new stocks, especially because you're going to get some stocks really cheap. So if this falls again, I thought, for example, past week we thought that this wouldn't reach the 4,500, so it reached the 4,500, and it may reach the 4,300 if we continue this way. As I mentioned before, the market continued to go down at least for the next upcoming week. In terms of the Bitcoin, we may see a rise of 1,365 to 1,995 pips. We may see a rebound for the 37,500, but I don't see if there's going to reach those points if the market continues to go down. So I do believe we're going to persist on the support around the 35,000. In last case scenario, the 33,500. Although I did open, I do have open order around the 33,000. If that reach, I'm going to buy a little bit more. But having in consideration the market, I don't think that the Bitcoin is going to continue this tendency going up. Although the RSI is below the neutrality, around the area of the 50, the MACD is above the signal line and negative. So we consider that the price stands above the 20 period moving average, around the 35,520, but it could be below the 50 period moving average, which is around the 36,664, or even the 36,920 as mentioned here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tips for this week. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like, and we'll see you next week. Have a nice one.